Friday Night Flies.
You did that almost perfect. And you didn't even know. Anyhow, it's Friday night. Scotty,
Friday night.
take it away.
I'm Boulder. Welcome to Friday Night Flies. We got so many going on tonight. We're on fly number 4 for today.
And we ain't stopping.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, we're doing some traditional ones. Take a break from the abstract ones that we have been doing. And yeah, so I'm doing a Adams. It's another one of those ones that's been around forever, tied in all different sizes, all different colors, represents all kinds of dry flies, and you gotta have it in your box.
Yeah, put it this way, you'd be crazy to try and name some that it represents, because that list is long.
Yeah, there's a ton of Adams, and everybody has their own little kick and variation on it. This one here, I'm taking it right out of the Fly Fishing Federation's Handbook of Flies.
So you know it's the legit, the original.
I know it's the legit ones, yeah.
All right.
Right down, I think I even got, all the materials are spot on. So we'll take you down and let you see what it looks like.
Look at that thing.
If you've been a fly fisher, you've definitely seen flies that look like this. It's a feather upwing styled fly. Super simple. And like I said, you change up the color, change the size. It represents yellow dunes, green dunes, little mayflies. If you make them smaller, mosquitoes. All it takes is changing the type of feather you use and the color of the dub.
I think it's pronounced dun.
Dun. I know. I always say dune.
Just like, okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's my vice. That's what I say.
It is. It's it.
Yeah, potato, potato. So that's the Adams right there. So we'll show you how we do this. Not too many materials used in making it either, which is nice. I believe if you ever bought, I see a lot of people that are getting starter kits these days, and they're always asking, what kind of fly can I tie with my starter? This is definitely one that's going to be in your starter kit.
You know what, next week, let's tie Tom Thumb.
Yeah, I was looking at one of those.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
What the heck?
We can do one of those next week. So I got my size 12 3X long dry fly hook on here, and I'm using some camel brown thread in the 8/0.
You know what the reason I said the Tom Thumb was for? Is because that, my friend, is the very first fly that I caught a fish on.
Oh, really?
I wasn't even fly fishing. It works that darn good.
You're just hanging her off your boot or what?
Well, I think I was 4. Around there somewhere, like, 25 years ago or so.
Yeah.
20 years ago. And we'd walked into this alpine lake in the middle of nowhere, and my dad tied on this bobber. A bobber, of course, because I wasn't fly fishing at 4.
Yeah.
Like now you would be like, yeah, whatever, as if you weren't fly fishing at 4, but no, I wasn't. And we threw it out there, and I just kind of let the wind catch it and move it around, and next thing you know, I was fighting a 18-inch rainbow.
Yeah.
So I was pretty stoked. We ate it right there too in the alpine and started a little fire. It was pretty awesome. I still remember it today.
So in other words, take your kids fishing.
Dude, lifelong memories
I know.
right there.
That's how, we all get hooked. If you remember back, it's all those memories of
and look at me now.
Going out with your grandfather, your uncle, your dad, and learning the ropes. And next thing you know, you might have dropped it for a while when you're a teenager and you got other things on your mind, but eventually you end up back.
That's where it stands. It starts right from the kids, the foundation. That's where it is.
All right. So while Brad was sharing that story, I did keep going with the fly here. So what I got is some barred cock cape, and I took a feather and I peeled off a bunch of the feathers on, or the stems on one side of it, and tied it in as the tail. It's about 2/3 the length of the shaft again, and I'm just tying in all the butts of it almost all the way up to the front here, just to keep that body uniform. Saves me from building it up with too much dubbing. So that's my little tail on there. Like you said, or like you can see, you don't need too much for the Adams. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is putting in the upwing. So this is some grizzly that I have. You can either, this here is neck, you can use the super woolly bugger stuff, whatever kind you want. But what we're going to be doing is taking 2 of the tips. So I want to find in here 2 that are about the same size, and I'm trying to avoid these feathers with the big wow in them. So I want a pretty straight one so that my Wings stand nice and tall.
Looks like you've picked through this one. A few
Yeah,
times.
this one's getting pretty sparse now. But I think I found my 2 feathers here. Oh, there's one. Where did the other one just go? And 2. So I got my 2 feathers. Now I don't need the whole feather. I'm going to leave all that on there, and I'm just going to nip off those tips.
You use the rest of the feather on something else.
Yep, using it on my woolly bugger as a body.
You're good.
If you pull it off the cape, then
She's gone.
yeah, it's kind of gone. So what I'm going to do is now prepare these little tips that we've just cut off for the upwing. My wing, I want to be from where I've tied my tail in to the eye. So kind of visualize it. I got it there. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the rest of this fiber on the back. So I'm going to start a little bit, and you take a little bit more off here. And do it kind of carefully when you're using just the tips. So that's starting to get there. When you're using just the tips of these feathers, the stem's pretty fragile. All right, so I'm just going to peel all that off, and then we're going to do the same to the other side. Now, once you get the one side done, it's easy to mark it with the other side. Just get your needle in there, your double needle, pull those feathers out, hang on to the tip.
Bingo bango.
Peel it all the way. So what you're left with is one little upwing. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other one. So again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up my tips. Show you in a second here. It's the only these wings are the finicky part of the pattern. So I got them matched up. You're not going to be able to see it, but I'm just going to go in with my tip again. And get my spot that I need. And peel it back. Match it up on the other side. And peel it back. So now I got my 2 feathers. One's still a little bit long, a couple more off of there. That side. Come on, that side. Alright, so now we got our 2 wings. Now we're going to put them back to back so that they curve out the opposite way from each other.
Just show us in the camera what you're doing there.
Yeah, once I get a hold of them, I'll try and do it here. So you see how it curves one way and then the other.
Yeah, see it, man. Looks
You
good.
got it? So get those tips matched up. Takes a little bit of maneuvering. Now we're going to tie it in so that the feather's facing towards the back. Keep it right on top. Tie those feathers in. And now I'm going to post them up. Be careful not to snap them off. Get that thread right in front of them. I'll get right in behind them. There you go. See how they pop up now? Now, the last little trick to help keep them separate is we're going to use these tips. And we might just need to use your thing just to spread those 2 wings apart. And these 2 tips come right, come on, fingers, right in behind, or right between the 2 feathers. So once you do that,
so what does that do?
that's going to ensure that they stay separated. It's going to really keep them apart.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be in focus, but you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, no, that looks beautiful, man. Looks good.
So that really ensures that they stay apart throughout the whole process here.
Where did you learn that trick?
In the book of fly tying.
Geez, you spent a little too much time reading, but I think you spent a little bit more time fishing. What do you think, Scotty?
I get out there as much as I can now.
Yeah, you do. Who am I kidding? You're right there with me.
So that's that. next is our dubbing. So I got a assortment of colors here. This color that I'm actually using is a mix of a couple of them, just to kind of match what's been around in our lakes and on our rivers.
Now what's the color? Olive brown?
It is close to an olive brown. I have olive brown, a little bit of Adam's gray, and a little bit of pale evening dune in there.
Done.
Done.
Doing your dune.
Done. So this body that we're creating here, I'm just going to dub up. So keep the back end of it pretty slim, and then we'll gain some thickness as we. Nice gentle taper on these flies. Get right behind these feathers.
Ooh, almost locked that guy down.
So now I'm going to start building it up just a little bit more behind these feathers. Just like that. Bingo, bingo. Next is the hackle. So I'm going right back to the same material, the cock cape. I like the barred stuff for doing these dries because it gives a little bit more segmentation than just the straight color. And again, what I'm looking for is not a wide, flat one, but I want something. If we look, see, this is a bad example because all that's garbage. It was looking good.
That cock was fighting.
Yeah, that one will do. So I'm looking for, if I'm holding it up to the base, it's coming just shy of the wing tip. It's not too much longer than the hook point. So let's get rid of some of these really long ones at the base. And again, we're going to tie this in with the front of the fly facing forward. And I'm just going to get it in right behind these wings. They might move on you a little bit. And then right in front of the wing, to secure that tag in, we're going to get rid of it. Get our little,
and now the fun begins.
Hackle pliers, and now we got to be pretty careful here.
There's a chunk of old feather in there, I think.
So 1, 2 wraps behind. Be careful not to get those wings too much. Post up your wings. And now we're going to do a nice thick hackle in front.
Dude, you got me thinking about fly fishing really bad right now. And the ice fishing season just started. I think we're going to have to go somewhere tropical.
We have to take a little trip, eh?
I think so.
Little midwinter trip.
Get out of
the feet.
Kick off the winter boots.
Alright, so let's just get rid of that tag end. And I might have left myself a little too much room this time. That's alright. Build up ahead. So normally the head doesn't take this long, but I didn't give myself, I left myself too much room at the front. But you know what? It'll still fish. It's still going to do the same thing. come on with finisher.
I think you thought you were using a size 14 hook there.
Yep.
There it is. You get the gist of it. It looks beautiful, man.
Yeah. So if you get the proportion properly, so I need to move my wings a little bit farther forward so that your head is nice and neat right behind the eye. But at least you saw how to do the feather uppers, up wings.
But that's gonna catch fish.
It's still gonna work. Yep. If I'm selling it to somebody, then yeah, I'm gonna redo it. But for my box, it's still gonna do the exact same thing. If you look underneath, it has the same profile, and that's where the fish is looking. They're gonna see the silhouette of the wings sticking up. You're gonna see the legs in the water.
Not jumping out of trees.
Yeah. All your legs actually hide that head. So like if you look underneath,
you don't see it.
You don't even notice. So that's it right there.
Beautiful tie, Scotty. Let's go up top and say good night to everyone in attendance. The million in attendance.
So thanks for watching us. Another classic fly that we did. So the Adams. Thanks again for joining. It's Friday Night Flies on Boulder, brought to you by Pemberton Fish Finder. Thanks.